Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited because this company, Nail Addict, actually gave me some nail polishes to try out. These are gel polishes, which if this wasn't gel polish, I wouldn't be able to do this because I cannot, like that traditional old school, like painting your nails, waiting for it to dry, like that's a thing of the past. I can't do that. But they were nice enough to send me some nice colors to try out. And then look how cute this little guy is. This is like the, you know, the LED little lamp thing. So it's super, super cool. And it's so small. Like when I first got this, I was like, this is a little small to do the trick, you know, but like look at the packaging in which it came with, you guys. This is the package, like so it's a mini UV LED lamp. And it's so small, but yeah, look at it. It's just a little cute little stand. But so there's the lamp, and then they sent over different colors, but since it's fall, I'm going to do this well, that's an interesting name for like a green, but it's called Wonderland, and it's like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of like an army green, perfect for the season. So what we are going to do today is paint our nails together. If you haven't done your nails, maybe it's time, because it's going to be a chit chat video. So I'm going to be painting my nails, and I asked you guys on Instagram, if you're not following my Instagram, go ahead and do so. I'll put my whatever shameless plug in here. But oh, I should have a drink. How am I not drinking with y'all? Babe, you want to give me a drink? I should be sipping, babe. It's supposed to look cute for the camera. I like chomping on ice. Do you guys like chomping? I love chomping on ice. But anyways, before I was really interrupted. But anyways, so what I thought we would do is now you watch me do my nails, because that's boring. While I try out my new Nail Addict kit here, we are going to talk about some things that you guys sent me. Like I asked you guys what you want to talk about, like a chit chat, because I feel like I've never actually done a chit chat on my channel. No, I haven't. And I just asked you guys questions like, what do you guys want me to talk about? And then you guys sent some in, so we're gonna talk about it. Oh, thank you. Cheers, or as my Haitian girls know, cheers, sisters. Well, that was not as smooth as I anticipated it. So there's different colors on the website. Again, they sent me this Wonderland color, which is this green, which is pretty nice. And then they recommended also to get the no wipe top and the base as well to like prep and prime. And so we're just gonna start doing our nails. So I have questions here that you guys submitted for me, but let's see. So one of them says, how to deal with living in a toxic household, and do you have any advice? So, okay, that's the first one we're gonna talk about. Who am I to give advice, first of all? And I have like a little, my filing kit here, because we gotta file the nails first before we begin. Here's how they look right now. Horrible, right? Cool. So, what does it say? How to deal with living in a toxic household, and do you have any advice? So you know what's really funny? Well, it's not funny. This whole topic isn't funny, but I could have swore when I was younger, just like all of you, like that I was living in a toxic household because of my mom, right? Like everybody thinks that, like, my mom's so toxic. Meanwhile, when I think back, I was the toxic one, honey. But I am an only child. If you guys do not know, I'm an only child, and when I was younger, man, like everyone loves the videos with me and my mom. You know, you guys think we're like so cute, but me and my mom went at it for a long time. We had a really not amazing relationship, I would put it. And so I could have swore, I was like, this is such a toxic household. But like, you know, my mom's Haitian. Like Haitian mothers can be really, they could be a lot, you know? So I don't know if your mom's Haitian or anything like that. Is that what you're talking about? Because they could be really not like bad, obviously. Like they're the most amazing parents, honestly, to me, but they're strict. And when you're younger, you just don't get it. Like there's a lot of things and a lot of rules that they have in place, and you're just like, nah, bruh, like this isn't the way, this isn't the one for me. Like, but I'm gonna tell you, if it's a Haitian mom thing where you're like, this is toxic, you know what I mean? I will say, like, when you get older, you know, when they're like, when you get older, you'll think me, you'll understand. It's true. Anything my mom's ever warned me about has been like absolutely 100% true. So if it's like a parent thing where you just feel like you guys are like butting heads, the older you get, the closer you become with your parents. So I wouldn't worry about it. You know, honestly, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I don't know how to put it, because my younger self would hate me right now, but it's true. Don't worry about it. Now, if you're talking about like there is something really going on, I don't feel like I'm the best person to talk to about this, because I'm not sure. Like, again, I only lived with my mom, so my toxic wasn't really toxic. It was just her telling me like how to behave and how to act, and I just wanted to be a teenager, like a rebellious teenager, you know. But if yours has anything to do with like someone's hurting you or something like that, I'm not the best person, because I don't know. I really don't know what advice to give. I feel like if your household is toxic, I would advise not being home as much, you know, like find a safe place, find a library, find a coffee shop, go to a friend's house that you do feel safe at. Don't be home. Hopefully it's not something where it's very like, I don't know. I have a feeling like you're talking about in like a Haitian household where like it can be really, I don't know. I think with that I need more. Well, we'll probably do like a round 2 for this, because I need more context. I don't know. If it's something more serious than that, then I don't want to give advice that's wrong. But I feel like if something's toxic for me, I just try to distance myself, so I wouldn't be home. You know what I mean? I'd be at my friend's house, I'd be at a coffee shop, I'd be at a library, like I would join groups, you know, whatever, church groups, I don't know, just anything that gets you out of the house, and then just be there to sleep, you know. But I also feel like if it's a Haitian household where you feel like people are always yelling, one thing that is like so plain as day, but like listen to what they're yelling at. If it's like clean your room, then just clean your room, you know. Like I know it sounds really bad, but this is, the older I get, the more I'm like, if I would have just listened to what she told me, like I wouldn't really have no problems. Maybe, who knows. But I need more context to be able to answer that all the way. So, but I hope it gets better for you, girl. What motivated you to start a YouTube? So it's a complete flop right now, but I wanted to start a YouTube because I could have swore nobody knew how to do makeup like me. Back in the day, I was like, yes, like I know how to do my makeup better than anybody. I need to start a channel, baby. I put like 4 makeup videos and those were just not a hit. Like, and also, especially at this time, the makeup game on YouTube oversaturated, you guys already know. And I feel like, honestly, people don't go to YouTube for makeup anymore. That's what I feel. Like, it has no longer become what people go to YouTube for. Because even like your favorite, man, my nails are like so uneven, but even like your favorites that do makeup tutorials and stuff like that do not solely do makeup anymore. You know, they do vlogs, they do different things. So, but yeah, I wanted to do makeup, and then I started a channel for that. And then you guys have seen it's taken a turn for whatever it wants to. Funny thing is also, like, my channel goes through the natural rhythm of my life. So there was a time I remember where my channel had only one content, which you guys can guess what that content is, because a lot of my subscribers came from that. And people were like, stop with the same content. Why are you always doing this content? And it's like, you guys, a lot of people's YouTube channels really reflect the period in life that they're at. So especially me, like with my relationship, and like I was just learning a lot about this person's culture and stuff like that. Like, boy, I was pumping out all the videos just because, you know, they were fun. That was my period in life. And so I don't know, I love YouTube for that, because you're able to kind of grow with it and you can see the evolution of your growth. Although like my channel looks completely different now. Like I'm just going in a different direction. So like that, all that's been scrapped, because I'm just trying to figure out which direction I want to go through on my channel. But that is the long answer on why I started a channel. And you asked another question. I'm just, anything about relationships or getting married, anything, girl, look, because I got a lot of questions with that. I will say now, God's timing. I always tell you guys that. So next question. I love ice and chopping on ice, so don't mind me. Dating Haitian in Chicago. So this is an interesting one, and I wonder if you mean dating Haitian people in Chicago or just being Haitian and dating in Chicago. So As you guys know, I am born and raised in Chicago. I love and miss Chicago. I'm in Texas right now, but that'll always be my home. Okay, before we continue, let's do the base. I don't know how to do this, so if you're a nail tech or whatever, this isn't the video to come for somebody, because I literally don't care. I'm just trying to do my nails and talk to you guys. Okay, what was the question? Oh yeah, dating Haitian in Chicago. So I'll give you two answers. If you're saying like dating in Chicago and being a Haitian person, like if you're saying, okay, I am dating in Chicago and I'm Haitian. There's so many questions to this, because are you saying like, what are you looking for? I don't know how to answer this question. I guess I'll answer just in my experience. Like, so I'm Haitian, obviously. Mom and dad are both born and raised in Haiti. I think for me, dating in Chicago, being Haitian wasn't a fact. Okay, okay, I think I see what you're saying, because I was just about to lie and say, oh, it wasn't a factor. I think being Haitian, I naturally am drawn to others that are from like, you know, not a different background, but like a Caribbean or like African background, because I feel like it's easier to relate. Do you guys feel the same way? Like, it's very hard to date someone that doesn't have the same upbringing as you naturally, and you will find that other Caribbeans or other Africans have a very similar upbringing than Haitians. That's why I've always said I feel like a good match is Africans, which some people like didn't even notice. They're like, really? They're raised the same? What? Same thing. The only, oh my god, this like base coat is like so shiny. You guys can't really see it, but it looks really good. Do I do the press button and then, okay, so I'm pressing it's plugged in. Oh my god, how cool. Y'all, I'm legit right now. Don't tell me nothing. Can you guys see? I'm sorry if you can't, but I'm gonna put this underneath. Okay, so I guess it's gonna turn off on its own, but when I'm dating with a purpose, because it's different. If you just dating to have some fun, then being Haitian is irrelevant, honestly. But if you're dating with a purpose, then I think whichever culture you're from, that's when it kicks in, right? Like you're like, oh wait, snap, like my background, I'm Haitian. So, okay, it's automatic, so it turned off. I think Chicago has different backgrounds and ethnicities, of course. If you're saying like if there's other Haitians in Chicago today, honestly, it's nothing compared to Jersey, you know, New York, of course, or like Florida. Like, you can't compare Chicago to that. But if you're just saying like, I don't know, because I met like my significant other in Chicago, but that's by happen chance. Like, that's just because he went to school in Chicago. So I don't know. I haven't had a problem dating in Chicago and being Haitian, because this is all I know. I'm sure, I feel like where I'm at now in Texas, I feel like there's so many different cultures, and I feel like here maybe is even easier, but there's also not a lot of Haitians here. I don't know. See, these are hard questions because I need so much context, like, but I feel like if you're Haitian and you're dating in Chicago, there are different cultures. There's not as big of a Haitian community, obviously, but also like, I don't know, is that what do you want to date a Haitian person? Is that a thing for you guys? Like, even at our age now, like, are you only trying to date, you know, your people from your own culture? I went through that phase when I was younger. I was like, oh, I'm only going to date a Haitian person because I want my kids to, you know, just hear Creole in the house the whole time. But, I mean, look, why are you looking at me? But, what was I saying? I'm doing it 2 times, guys, because every time I hit it, it's like still sticky, so I'm gonna do it 2 times. So, why are you looking at me?
I want to hear what you're saying.
Okay, so when I was younger, I was like, I can't do it when you're like dead ass looking at me. When I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, I want my kids to grow up in like same household, you know, like, so they go to school and they're like, my mom and dad are Haitian. Like, I wanted them to scream that to the mountaintops, you know? I don't know. Just, there's a lot that comes with your preference in life. Like, you could be dead set and think this is for you, and then God like laughs in your faces. Like, definitely not. I would, of course, like, I'm still not this person to be like, oh, I would never date like, you know, God forbid if anything ever happened. But I'm not a person that's like, oh, I would never date Haitians. It's just when I was younger, it was more of a thing because it sounded nice and like imagining it for my children sounded nice. But you grow up and you're just like, there's other cultures the same way, you know, like the only thing is that the language isn't the same, but that's even cool. Like for your kids to be multicultural and bilingual, trilingual, like that's so cool. How many times did I do this? I don't remember. Anyways, okay, so now we're gonna go in with the, you know, the grain. Okay, I don't know if I did this right, guys. Like it's sticky, but this is so pretty. Like this looks like a gloss, I mean a polish on its own. But yeah, like I went through that phase. I've dated Haitian in Chicago too. Like if you're asking if there's well, see, now I'm lying. The Haitian person I dated in Chicago like just came from Haiti, so I don't know if that counts. Like it wasn't like this person was even based in Chicago. He was like, I'm coming from Haiti. He was like, Muela, and that was that, really. And I don't even consider that dating. So I don't know. I'm sure there's definitely Haitian guys in Chicago, but it's like, how serious is it for you to want to just date a Haitian person? You know what I mean? Because there's other cultures just as good. Sis, your skincare routine, what do you use? You're beautiful, by the way. Thanks, girl. What do I use, you guys? I did a video, actually. I was gonna say nothing, but no, I did a video of my whole skincare routine. Man, this, I don't know what, this turned out horrible. Not their fault. This just looks horrible on my end. But I did a whole routine, or I did a video on this already. I'll leave the link down below. It's only like 3 videos like ago. So you shouldn't have to look too far back on my channel if you want to see it. But skincare, you know what's interesting about skincare though? Man, I feel like when you commit to it, like your face goes through the roughest period before it goes through the best. And that's like, that's very like also I feel similar to how life is. Like you go through the roughest parts of your life before you go through the best. You know, just dropping knowledge for you guys. So supporting and temptation while celibate. Supporting and temptation while celibate. I don't know what that means, but I think you're saying like how to stay celibate, how to resist temptation while being celibate. Girl, as a Christian that I am, I should be able to answer. No, I'm just joking. Oh, this looks really nice. Now it's going on good. I don't know what happened with my thumb. My thumb looks ridiculous. If I were to show you guys my thumb, it looks ridiculous. But this looks really nice on my pointer finger. Okay, look. Basically, like, don't put yourself in a position to be tempted. Do you know what I mean? But like, if you're gonna go out, man, that's hard. It's hard, I know. Man, you guys have really good questions, and I'm just like, oh. Honestly, if I want to resist temptation, you know what I would do? Not put myself in a position to be tempted. And that goes with anything in life. Like, just resist temptation. Like, let me give it to you in a different way, just to help you. So one of my best friends lost a lot of weight, right? And I remember during this period of her losing weight, it didn't matter what you would offer her. She would be like, no, like, absolutely, unequivocally, no. Just no. Like, I don't care. It just wasn't for her. Interesting enough though, like she would be around people that would be tempting her and stuff like that, and she still wouldn't resist. Like she still wouldn't, you know, cave. When you really want something in life, I feel like nothing can take you off path. Like if you are really serious about being celibate for whatever reason, faith or your personal choice, if it's that important to you, I don't think anything, no matter how tempting it looks, you won't be taken off path. Am I wrong?
No.
Why are you looking at me when I said that?
Just looking at you.
Why?
Nothing.
Say it.
Nothing actually. I'm just looking at you.
Why did you look at me when I said that? Obviously you had something to say or a thought.
Listen to you talk.
That's just my thoughts.
Makes sense.
Like I feel like if you want anything bad enough in life, nothing will ever take you off course. So it depends on what you're doing it for, and then you'll realize no matter what. And also, I think one big thing, first of all, is choosing a partner that respects that. Because if you're with, you're saying, hey, I want to be celibate, and you have a partner that's like, because let me tell you, there are some people like this, right? So they'll say like, yeah, like cool, like I'm all for that. This looks amazing. This looks like I actually got my nails done, but it's also like spilling. So I'm really confused on what's going on with my thumb. Beware, there's people, right? You'll be like, hey, I want to be celibate. And they'll be like, yeah, like I support that, whatever. And honest to God, you guys, they don't. Like, they don't. I feel like there's something, you know how you want what you can't have? I feel like it's very like that for some men. Like, oh, yeah, like you want to be celibate? Yeah, sure. But like their whole goal is to like get you to like drop that. Am I tweaking? I feel like that might be a thing. Like a guy's like, oh, like you want to be celibate? Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, I'm gonna make you lose that. Like I feel like it's like a game.
No.
And I feel like it also makes it more like interesting. Like, oh, we can't have each other. Oh, that whole thing, and it's like, then eventually someone gives in and you're like, crap. Am I tripping? I feel like it's a game.
I mean, it's like this. It's like they don't know what you go, like the reasons why. They don't understand it as much. They just say, oh, cool.
So if they don't understand it, and you're saying like, okay, you're saying like, oh, because they don't understand it, they might not uphold it as much.
Yeah.
But then they should say like, listen, I don't understand it as much. So basically moral of the story.
It sounds cool to you, innit?
Okay, but what I was going to say is be very, you got to be very specific then on who you're doing relations with during this time period. Because I think the other person also helps. Like I've heard of people like that are with men and they're saying like, oh, I want to be celibate. And then the guy's like, all right, cool. Like I respect that about you. And then the girl like lacks a little bit and she's like, oh, we could just do this. And then he's like, no, like I care about you that much. You said that you want to be celibate. Like we're going to be celibate. And that's really cool. But then there's other people that the guy's like, which is really hard, where you're saying, I'm going to be celibate. And the guy's like, but like he said, it's not what he's going through in life. So he's never going to uphold it or care as much as you do. That's when you're faced with this dilemma. Or you have someone that truly is like, hey, I respect that. I want to do it. But it is hard for them as well because they're a man at the end of the day. So you have like three scenarios. Like, oh yeah, I don't know. It's very hard. I would personally, if I'm going to do that, I'm very clear to whoever, I don't know. You know what I'm all over the place because this is an interesting topic. I'm not claiming, this is what I'm going to say to you. I would not claim to be celibate or speak out of my mouth and tell the person I'm celibate unless I'm really like, I have been so convicted in my spirit to be celibate. Because at that point, if I'm convicted and I know that this is a path that God wants me to take, or something happened to me in my past where I'm like, you know what? This is just proving to me that I should just be celibate until marriage or whatever. Then I don't care what men coming to my comments, my DMs, hitting me on a date, you bring me flowers. I don't care what you're saying to me, daddy, papi, sugar plum. Nothing you say is going to make me get out of my contract with myself and Jesus. You see what I'm saying? Like, but listen, again, I'm not opening my mouth until I'm sure. Because also what I feel like happens is if you say it like, I want to be celibate, whatever, and then like you break it, I feel like you need to uphold it so that person knows how serious you are too, especially if you're like, okay, I'm doing this because the next time I'm giving up myself is when I'm married. So if you're trying to like make sure men know that about you and you're trying to like set a standard, I think one of the biggest standards is like, how well can you keep your word? You know what I mean? That was a gem. Next one we have is things people don't discuss about relationship goals. Girl, if we don't talk about it, All right, relationship goals is not a thing. Let me tell you, I have been on this whole quest and journey and discussion this whole year. That's why, like, I say in so many of my videos, like, me and my man are nowhere near relationship goals. I say this all the time. There's so much to say about this, but one thing is, there was a point where, I kid you not, I was always getting messages from people. Granted, of course, I love it. I'm always here to help. But, you know, they would be like, oh my God, I love your relationship. Like, you know, I'm with the Nigerian man too or whatever. And like, you know, I want my relationship to work just like yours. And can I have advice? And I'm just like whose? Just like whose? Girl, this is a relationship and that is it. There is no goal. The goal of your relationship should be your own. You know, like the goal should be to make it as unique as you can for yourself. Because what works for me, what works for my man will not work for you and your man. Do you know what I mean? And I think our society with the couple channels and stuff really hurt regular relationships. Because I bet you there's like, you know, somebody just watched a video telling them, oh, my man proposed and he got balloons, bears, they over there in Tulum, you know, like living their lives. And you know, the girl's boyfriend, your boyfriend come over and he tells them, hey babe, you want to go to Walmart and get your favorite ice cream? And you're like, I deserve Tulum, like you're not doing anything for me. And he's just looking like, what? And you know what you're doing? You thinking like, oh, I want to be couple goals. And meanwhile, after that little Tulum video's done and they've stopped pressing record, she hang up, she you know, stops the camera like, you didn't propose the way I told you to propose. Let me tell you, I believe there's a lot of relationships like that. This hand looks so ugly and I don't know what it is and I need to take it out. Oh God, I messed up my whole nail. We ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah, you guys, relationship goals is not a thing. I don't ever, like, you guys we need to be careful because social media, what gets the clicks is the coolest caption, right? Like, I think the Ace family's biggest video was the most crazy engagement ever, and he jumped out of a freaking helicopter or whatever. This man jumped out of a helicopter, y'all, like, and I bet you guys are like, hey, it's not like that. You're not you guys, but like, there's a lot of people probably in those comments like, oh my God, I deserve this one day. What you deserve is a relationship uniquely designed for you, because a lot of y'all would not be happy with Austin. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Austin. I don't know him. I'm just saying, I'm sure what works for Catherine isn't going to work for you guys. What works for me is not going to work for you guys. Relationship goals is such a lie. Like, it's such a lie. No relationship. And you know what? I think I just had this conversation recently where I honestly look at anybody's relationship. And if it looks super perfect, I'm like, because I just know that life is real, man. Life is real out here. And also, like, I just wonder, a lot of these relationship goals, they portray like the glam, the glitz, you know what I mean? But not like what a relationship entails. Because the glam and the glitz and everything for a relationship should be only, what percentage do you think makes up a relationship? Like with glam and glitz. I'm talking about, oh my God, I just messed up my nail. How? I feel like it takes up like 35%. Not even. I feel like that's a really high number.
35 of glam?
35% of glam. That's too much, right?
Yeah, it's like 10.
It's like 10,
like
right?
Five.
Right, because a relationship is like, especially if you're thinking of it like lifelong, oh man. Y'all are dealing with, you know what people don't realize? And this will help you too if you're in a relationship, but you know how when you're by yourself, you have bad days and good days? And then you get with another person and, you know, you're like, oh my God, he's acting weird today. Like, I don't know why he's acting like this or whatever. That person is literally having a bad day. Like, they are having a day that you happen to be involved in because you are in a relationship with them. But for people, they're like, he gave me this attitude, like I deserve better than this. Like, you guys, but it's hard because I feel like we have been shown since kids with, you know, Cinderella and everything, like, well, actually, because people said like, oh, it's because of, you know, us growing up thinking that Prince Charming, but what we don't realize is every freaking Disney movie, and I know this because, you know, guys, I'm a fanatic of Disney, but every Disney movie has a tragedy. Nobody realizes that. Let me tell you what every Disney movie happens or starts off with. It's a princess that either started off as a princess or does not know she's a princess, or like was a princess for like 0.2 seconds of her life, gets abducted, or everything's taken away from her, and then she lives a majority of her teen years in like isolation or being hurt or done wrong. And then somehow when she's down in the dumps or something, like her prince comes, right? Boom. And then the good times last for like 0.5 seconds, and then some secret gets revealed or something goes wrong where there's a problem. There's always this thing, like there's always a problem. And before they get to the marriage part, which is considered the happily ever after part in movies, which it's not, that's just like a happy day, not the ever after, because ever after, you want happily ever after, you gotta keep going until the end of time. Like you gotta keep going through the problems, you know? I don't know, there's problems, you know, and it's not even hidden from us in fairy tales. Fairy tales are not all perfect, yet the way that social media portrays it, the way that a lot of couples portray it, is that it's amazing. And it's not. And I would hate for you guys to get in relationships and then base it off of what you see on the internet and be like, this is not really what I saw on so-and-so's channel, so I don't think this is right for me, because if so-and-so's man's gonna do this, then my man should do it too. Like so-and-so's man probably also like is super disrespectful and super this and super that, you know? But they don't showcase that to you. Just a thought. Just a thought. And I don't want you guys thinking or comparing your lives with other people's lives, because shoot, everybody got problems. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Every couple has problems. And what also, there's some couples that'll be like, we rarely fight. That's weird. Not like you shouldn't be in a relationship that's all about fights, or a majority where you're like, oh, the only thing that we do is fight. Obviously that's bad. But like, a fight is needed. I mean, I feel like the only way I've ever gone in my relationship is through fights, where you're like, oh, that's what you don't like. You know what I mean? I just feel like we need to get rid of couple goals and all that. Like, it's not a thing. And I'm telling you this, it's not a thing. Like, I actually look at like a lot of people's relationships now, and I'm like, instead of like seeing like, oh my God, they're on vacation and he's whining and dining her, I'll be like, that's a nice dress. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I'm not gonna speak on something I don't know about, and we don't know. You could watch someone's vlogs, like they could do like vlogmas, and you'd be like, man, I watch their videos, you know, every single day for a month, and I could tell you they're a legit couple. Like, there's always an off button, and the off button can happen with the camera, and it can also happen with someone's personality. So don't let nothing fool you. I want you guys to go out there and like really get relationships that fit you, you know? Like, don't compare, because we don't know anything. Like, you're great, but you ain't perfect. Shoo. But yeah, we're gonna do the no white top on top of it. The last one, oh God, let me try to open my phone here. The last question I got was life transition slash differences from the Midwest and the South. So some of you guys may know, if you follow me on Instagram, then you guys will know already, but I'm chilling in Texas at the moment. And I say that because God knows where I'll end up. Like, you know, Chicago's cool too. You know, Chicago's real cool. I miss Chicago, y'all, if y'all can't tell. But I'm young and I'm chilling right now, but I'm in Texas, and I say in and not living because you just never know in life, you know. I can relocate, boom, tomorrow. New ventures. I feel like when you're young, you should just be like, I'm in this place right now, because you just never know. But for the moment, I'm chilling in Texas, and it's definitely the South. No, I'm just joking. I'm in Dallas, and I said just joking because before I came here, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Texas. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be with like, hey y'all, like howdy. And I was so scared. You guys, I was so scared. Like, people are going to be racist, da, da, da. And like, what? Like, to be honest, sometimes I forget that I'm in Texas, because it's kind of, and I'm not going to say it's like Chicago. It's not that different from Chicago yet. Mind you, I'm a huge homebody. I think, so there was one time when I was at work and someone told me, oh man, Chicago's really prejudiced, or not prejudiced. Was it prejudice? segregated. Someone said Chicago's really segregated. And I remember being like, what? Chicago's the Midwest. Like, what are you talking about? And they were like, I didn't say racist. I said segregated, meaning that people really do stay in their own communities. And I was like, yeah, that's not true. Well, it is true, because there's different places in Chicago where you're like, you know, certain cultures and what, like, there are certain places where you know you're gonna find certain people, backgrounds, all of it. It's so true. Like, they stay in little pockets. And for me, I never thought that was weird because I'm from Chicago. You know, like, I'm not noticing anything bad about it. But in hindsight, in Texas, I'll literally be like, I wonder, like, what type of people are going to be here. And I go in, and it's so diverse. And I'm like, what in the world? And that's when I noticed, oh, okay. Chicago is really, you know, funny, though, because you're like, really the South versus the Midwest? But yeah, of course there's places that I'm not going to hillbilly Texas. You know, I can't tell you guys that, because you would never find me in no hillbilly Texas. You know, I like my life, honey. I'm not trying to be the next news story, no. But I can tell you it's very diverse here. Again, this is Dallas, so I'm sure there's other places in Texas where that's not the case. But so far, so good. It's actually kind of eerie for me, because I've been here and I've been like, this is really weird. Like, I've actually said, like, this is kind of weird that it's this not segregated. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. But what other customs have I found that are different in the South? I don't know. Again, like, I'm a homebody, especially right now during Corona. Like, I came here when the news outlets were like, Texas outbreak. Like, you know, so I definitely wasn't going anywhere. But I'm trying to think if there's anything different. Do you think there's anything different about being in Texas?
They speed a lot.
They speed a lot, and I'm gonna pick up my mom tomorrow. You're tripping. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even driven since I've been here. So, I mean, the biggest difference with this doesn't have to do with the South, because not all the South is the same. But in Texas, let me tell you, the heat is so disrespectful. And, like, bear with me for this conversation, because I hate when people talk about weather. I feel like it's the lamest, like, conversation filler. I hate it. But damn. I love Chicago and the Midwest or whatever, because they go through seasons. Like, I can tell you exactly what a spring is, summer, fall, and winter. Like, we have them all very beautifully. Like, my mom keeps calling me in Chicago because I love rain. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I love rain and everything like that. And she's like, oh, you would love it. Like, it's so stormy here. It's raining. Like, it's so cold. I have to wear a sweater. I have to wear a sweater. And in Texas, it's like, I wear a sweater in the house because the AC is cold. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's not like, so I'm really sad because I don't feel like I'm going to get, there's no seasons here. It's so ridiculously hot. How bad I miss seasons. I went online and was looking for, I was looking to see when it gets cold here in December. If anyone's from Texas or anything like that, let me know when you think I'll be able to feel the impact of summer or of winter. But it said like the 60s will hit like late December, and that's like 67. And I was like, what? That is a breeze. I'm so sad. But I made up my mind. I'm going home for Christmas, so I'll be able to have like at least a week of, you know, a week of Christmas and cold. But yeah, I don't know if this is done. Oh my god, this really worked. Oh my god, I'm like just so shocked. Oh my god. Oh wow, that really worked. Whoa. Ah, that's so exciting. Wow, you guys need to check out Nail Addict. I think I might, hopefully I have a coupon code for you guys. This was really fun. Like this was, look how small this is. You could do this by yourself. I think this was only like $25. And then you can like choose really cute colors. But for sure, if you guys are gonna pick something up from them, get the no wipe top and then get the base at least, and then get a color. So get like 3. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys, yeah, so I think since being here, I've really gotten into like my hobbies. And you know, my hobbies are like nerdy hobbies, but I feel like what I wanted to tell you guys, and I made a post about this, and a lot of you guys commented saying, so true, is that you guys need to, like, if you don't even have a hobby, well, find one first. It doesn't have to be something that you do, but something that you enjoy that like keeps you distracted from like the world. Because I think what's really important as well during this time and during this year is like you need things to distract you from everything else that's going on in the world. Because there was a point where, I mean, how many of you follow the Shade Room, right? A lot, probably. Or follow like different things on Twitter or whatever. Well, there was a point where I was considering unfollowing Shade Room because so many of the posts, and I think this was during like the riots and the protesting and stuff like that. And when I was seeing like things done to the protesters, that was really sad. Or like seeing like things like how people were like making fun of like the deaths of like all these poor men and women that have lost their lives to like stupid racial, you know, injustice or whatever. But what was I saying? So yeah, there was a point where it gets to be a lot. And so like sometimes like I know I had a thought like, oh, okay, I'm gonna unfollow them now because it's just too much. Like it's too much bad news. And then especially like during Corona, I couldn't deal with it because it was like too much bad news being reported about like all these people dying and stuff like that. And then of course, like with all the deaths that have been happening lately, I'm like, I can't do it. Like there's been a lot, right? And then, yeah, so that's when there's been a lot of times where I just didn't want to follow those posts anymore. But then there's also people that you follow on your timeline that you necessarily don't want to delete, but you just don't want to see all the time, you know? Like it's so much, I feel like my page has so much pop culture. And if you're like me, I don't want to be involved in pop culture 24/7. Like it's not something that I live my life for. And so I made a separate Instagram and followed only like geeky things. And I say this to say, I didn't realize until recently how much it's helped me mentally, because a lot of those geeky pages don't post anything but that, you know what I'm saying? Like fandom, like, you know, so, I don't know. I made a post basically saying, if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to make a separate Instagram account where you follow things only that you like and pages that you notice don't post anything at all about pop culture, but just one thing. So if you're into home decor, follow like a whole bunch of home decor, Instagrams, or follow like if you're like into spiritual or like religious things, like follow a bunch of pages dedicated solely to that, because that can really help you on your journey, your mind, getting your mind right, everything like that, getting you focused, celibacy, like all that can help, you know, or pages that promote that. What else? Well, like cooking Instagrams, just things that are just away from like gossip. I feel like that'd be really good for you guys, because I'm telling you, I am actually, no joke, on my nerdy Instagram much more than I am on my regular Instagram. Oops, I said it. I just hate regular Instagram right now. You can see that they're kind of glittery and stuff like that, or like shiny, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat. Let me know if you guys want me to do these more often, because this was actually really fun. Like I got 2 things knocked out. I got a video done with you guys, got to talk to you guys because I haven't done a sit down in a long time, or like ever. And I got to do my nails, so. Oh my god, this is so cold. There's like steam coming out of it. But anyways, this was fun. Let me know all your thoughts down below. And if you want me to do another one of these, let me know and I will. I literally could see myself doing this like once a week, because it was so easy. But anyways, I will leave a coupon code down below if you guys want to check out Nail Addict, because this was really fun. And these are like legit, like no dry time. Wow, this is crazy, the stuff that we come up with in this world. But yeah, check down below for all information pertaining to their website and their coupon code, everything like that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.